the unknown. When I went and saw him play Cambridge the other night, obviously what happened in the Cambridge game was frightening, from a Marblehead perspective, in that they just destroyed them. Cambridge had some better athletes than what we have, and I wasn't sure that we were going to match up so well against St. Mary's. But tonight, St. Mary's did exactly what you expect them to do. They were pounding the ball at us. Jordan Collier's an absolute stud. Their linemen are big, they're fast, they move downfield. I think the thing I'm most impressed with their line is the number of kids that get downfield onto a safety. And they're just so well disciplined. They do a nice job. For us, there were some things we did well. Brooks Terrell played a terrific game tonight. I mean, he was awesome. Zach was a little bit banged up, and he stepped in admirably for him. So I'm happy that happened. But there's a lot of things that we could have done better. We've got to spend this week improving everything that we do defensively and offensively. We're going to change a few things for Winthrop to show them some different things. But I'm glad I came here. Our kids got an opportunity to come back. Our kids got an opportunity to play in a close game. So, all around it was a great night for us.
How important was that stop there at the end? I mean, the fumble and then the...
I think both for my cardiovascular and my heart, it was a huge plus. For my family's life over the next week, it was a huge plus. But in all seriousness, it was very big because we are young. We're a young defense, and I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to do that. We're throwing stuff out there, some kids out there to try to see what sticks. And the kids are tonight, play after play, they have to prove themselves every single play. And we had kids tonight that did a great job. So it was a huge stop. I don't think, we obviously, if it hadn't happened, they were more than prepared to score, and if they had gone for two, the game would have been over. But good things happen. Our kids really stepped up when they needed to and made good plays.
Now Brooks really, like you said, came in the second half and really took charge for you guys. I mean, what was not keeping them in the...
What's most impressive, he's a sophomore, and he's one of the guys that we're talking about being really young that needs to mature. Spencer Craig, Brooks Terrell, Derek DeMay, Willie Millett are four sophomores that are getting significant snaps for us that if they play like sophomores, we're not going to do very well this year. But if they mature every game and do better, we can be a pretty good football team. If in the first half Brooks got terribly burnt for a touchdown at safety, something that we had worked on all week long, and he knew he had made a mistake, and the sign of maturity is the fact that most kids would have hung their head after that and they would have been toast for the rest of the game. Obviously that didn't happen. That's huge. That's maturing right before your eyes in the middle of a game. So we go back, we look at film, we fix it in practice, but at the same time we saw some huge positives that happened right in the middle of a game when things were at their worst, when he could have just hung his head, but he stepped up big for us, and that's a big thing for us.
How big was that? They had that big touchdown pass, and then you guys responded with one immediately. How big was that?
Yeah, that was huge. We have some kids that were able to perform. Move out of these guys' way. We had some kids that were able to execute that play very well. The offensive line actually lost their men, and Ian Mag had to do a little bit of scrambling. He did some nice dancing back there, gave himself some time, and found Brian Daly wide open, and then Brian took the ball in. So we thought it would be there, it was, but it didn't quite happen the way we did, and that's where you give the kids a lot of credit for keeping their cool and executing. But had we not come right back and scored like that, it could have been a long night.
Jim, go ahead. Now, how close was that last pass when you were on defense down here right in front of you? That was an incomplete pass? How close was it?
Yeah, let's just say that that was scary. That play could have very easily gone either way on that play. I think our guy was beat on that play. We didn't have good coverage. We didn't tip the ball. Quite simply, I think the receiver, the ball was a little maybe overthrown, underthrown. I don't know who did something wrong, but certainly we were beaten on that play. And there was a great, I believe it's Cassidy, the quarterback for St. Mary's. For a kid that runs a double wing, he can do it all. He ran well with the ball tonight. He threw well with the ball. That's going to be a formidable team as the season goes on. Absolutely.